Hey coin collectors and treasure hunters! Welcome back to the channel. In today's episode, we're diving deep into the world of US coins, and specifically, we're talking about a piece that's been in our pockets, our drawers, and maybe even our piggy banks for decades, the 1989 Jefferson nickel. What's its story? What's it worth in circulated condition? And should you keep an eye out for this classic 5-cent coin? Let's find out. The Jefferson nickel was first introduced in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel. It features a portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, designed by Felix Schlag. The design stayed relatively the same for decades, and in 1989, the nickel still carried that classic image of Jefferson on the obverse, with his home, Monticello, on the reverse. It's a coin that bridges American history and modern times. The 1989 Jefferson nickel isn't rare, but like all coins, condition, mint marks, and errors can change everything. Let's talk numbers. In 1989, the U.S. Mint struck the Jefferson nickel at two major locations. Over 661 million nickels were produced. Roughly 563 million coins were struck. That's a total of over 1.2 billion nickels for that year. So yeah, it's safe to say, they're not rare in general circulation. But value isn't just about rarity. Let's get into the condition and market demand next. If you find a 1989 Jefferson nickel in average circulated condition, the value is, well, 5 cents, just face value. Most coins that were used in everyday life, showing wear and tear, don't carry extra value, but, and this is important, if your coin is in better than average condition, like extremely fine, XF, or about uncirculated, AU, it might fetch 10 to 25 cents from a collector. And if it's uncirculated or mint state, meaning it's crisp and shiny with no signs of wear, the value can range from 50 cents to over $2, depending on the grade. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Some 1989 Jefferson nickels have errors and varieties that can be worth much more. Check the date and the word Liberty, for any doubling a misaligned design can easily fetch $5 to $50, depending on severity. Raised lines or blobs from a damaged die can also boost value. And if you find a nickel that's struck on the wrong planchet, say, a penny planchet, that could be a jackpot find worth hundreds of dollars. Always inspect your nickels under good light, even with a magnifying glass. You never know what hidden treasure you might uncover. Here's the big question. Should you keep your 1989 Jefferson nickels? If you have one in brilliant uncirculated condition or one with an error, definitely hold on to it or consider getting it graded by a service like PCGS or NGC. Even circulated examples with clear strikes and full steps on Monticello might be worth setting aside. But for most well-worn nickels? Feel free to spend them. Unless you're building a date set or just love keeping coins from the 1980s, nickels don't always get the same attention as pennies or silver coins, but Jefferson nickels are rising in collector interest, especially full date sets from 1938 to today. If you're starting a collection, the 1989 nickel is an easy and affordable addition. And remember, even common coins have stories, and sometimes, those stories turn into value. Oh, there you have it. The 1989 Jefferson nickel, common in circulation, but with a few surprises for those who look closely. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, checking your pocket change might lead to something valuable. Have you found a special 1989 Jefferson nickel? Let us know in the comments below. The Jefferson nickel has been a staple of American coinage since 1938, replacing the famous Buffalo nickel. Designed by Felix Schlag, the coin was introduced to honor Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States and principal author of the Declaration of Independence. On the obverse, front, of the coin, you'll find a left-facing portrait of Jefferson, while the reverse, back, features his famous Virginia home, Monticello, an elegant neoclassical mansion that Jefferson himself designed. Why 1989? The Jefferson nickel had been in continuous production for over 50 years with only minor changes. The design remained mostly the same since its original release, though over time, improvements in striking technology and small die modifications made certain years slightly more detailed or sharp. The 1989 nickel was struck during the presidency of George H.W. Bush, and there were no major design changes that year. However, this coin reflects a moment in U.S. minting history when coins were being produced in huge quantities, with more than 1.2 billion nickels minted in 1989 alone between the Philadelphia and Denver mints. Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark ** 661,780,000 coins. Denver Mint, D Mint mark * 563,486,061 coins. These massive numbers mean that the 1989 nickel is not considered rare, but it remains an important part of Jefferson nickel history. What makes the Jefferson nickel series? Historically interesting is how long it remained unchanged. From 1938 to 2003, the basic design by Felix Schlag stayed on the coin, making it one of the longest-running coin designs in U.S. history. 2004 and 2005, the U.S. Mint temporarily changed the reverse designs to commemorate the Lewis and Clark expedition, and in 2006, a new forward-facing Jefferson portrait by Jamie Franke replaced the original Schlag design, so the 1989 Jefferson nickel sits near the end of the long era of the original design, making it part of a classic American tradition. It's a coin that tells the story of enduring legacy, both in leadership and in the world of numismatics. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next coin adventure. Thanks for watching, and as always, keep collecting, keep learning, and keep those eyes sharp.